Assalamualaikum to my both examiner, Prof. MADYA, Dr. Rosmila binti Abdul Kahar and Dr. Amir binti Amiruddin. My name is Muhammad Amir Shariffudin bin Azman. Today I want to present about my thesis with the title Impedance-based Immunosensor for Alzheimer disease detection in direct assay. For the objective of this thesis is first, immobilization of Alzheimer disease antibodies on gold surface quartz crystal. Second, impedance measurement of alpha deposition of immobilization process and immunoassay at different concentration. Third, analysis of direct immunoassay for Alzheimer disease biomarker. First, I want to discuss about you with interaction antigen or antibody, which is the important thing in this thesis. Antibody have two multiple functions, which is first to locate specifically to their target antigen, which is to the other to elicit an immune response against the bound antigen by recruiting other cells. For the methodology, chemical reagent that we use is PAH, polyalumin hydrochloride, protein A, anti-beta amyloid antibody, bovine serum albumin BSA, beta amyloid antigen, deionized water, nitrogen gas, trace HCl buffer solution. And therefore apparatus that we use is vortex, Wacty balloon spatula tube, centrifuge tube, micropipette, pipette tips, petri dish, 10 MHz quartz crystal, QCM holder for dipping process. For the methodology, we have two phases, measurement in air phase and measurement in liquid phase. The procedure of the measurement in A phase were following below. First, to on the PC that connected to impedance analyzer. Second, turn on impedance analyzer after follow several procedure. Third, the quartz crystal microballoon was placed on the liquid state cell. Fourth, the quartz crystal microballoon was inserted between high and low electrode through DUT wire. And lastly, the measurement was collected. The measurement that collected is impedance analyzer, value of impedance analyzer, and the LIC equivalent circuit value. For the measurement in liquid phase, the procedure is number 1. The quartz crystal was measured by using impedance analyzer. Number 2. The buffer solution was added to the liquid cell by using micropipette and the measurement was collected. 3. The liquid cell was rinsed by using deionized water. The deposition process was started with PAH by adding it to the liquid cell using micropipette. The incubation time for this process was about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the crystal was rinsed with deionized water and the buffer solution was added into it after that. The measurement after deposition of PAH was collected. The crystal cell was rinsed with buffer solution and the deposition process was started again with protein A. The incubation time for this process was about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the crystal was rinsed with trace HCl buffer solution. The measurement after deposition of protein A was collected. All this process were repeated starting from step 6 with an anti-beta amyloid antibody, bovine serum albumin BSA, and 5 different concentration of beta amyloid of antigen, which is 5 different concentration of antigen is 1.0 microg per ml, 0.1 microg per ml, 0.01 microg per ml, 0.001 microg per ml, 0.0001 microg per ml. For the detection of Alzheimer disease biomarker, all the results of the measurement in A phase and liquid phase were used to determine the limit of the detection LOD, which is the lowest concentration of a certain biomarker that can be detected with acceptable precision and accuracy. The LOD value is important because this value can to detect an early symptom for Alzheimer disease. The concentration of an antigen can be recognized as a LOD where there is a consistency in result for each deposition process on the impedance analyzer. For the result indication, the result of experiment was conducted in 2 different phases, is in liquid and A phase. The result in liquid phase was separated to immobilization and immunoassay part. For the measurement in air, the measurement is in A phase for the quartz crystal with the resonance frequency F0 is 10.020003.044 MHz, which is approximately to 10 MHz. 4 show the absolute impedance against frequency at the fundamental frequency. The frequency at the fundamental state was 9.99 MHz, which is approximately to 10 MHz. That close to the theoretical value, which is 10 MHz, and the impedance value was 3.83 kilo ohm. For the measurement in liquid phase, the measurement in liquid phase for the quartz crystal with the resonant frequency F0 is 10.006x 9075x, which is approximately to 10 MHz. For the immobilization, from the graph, the peak of the graph, known as the absolute impedance value, were obtained. This table shows the absolute impedance value in liquid phase for immobilization. For the measurement in liquid phase from PAH to BSA, in the table above, the collected impedance value of 4 is the position of biochemical from PAH until BSA was quite increased then decreased. There is a majority increase in the measurement of impedance value. For the immunoassay, from the graph, the peak of the graph known as the absolute impedance value were obtained. The table shows the absolute impedance value in liquid phase for immunoassay. For the 5 different concentration of antigen in liquid phase, measurement 0.0 microG/ml, 0.1 microG/ml, 0.001 microG/ml, 0.001 microG/ml, 0.0001 microG/ml, there is a slightly inconsistent in impedance value. Each of antigen concentration is needed to combine with the impedance value of deposition process from PAH to until BSA. For identifying the limit of detection LOD for Alzheimer disease, 0.001 microG/ml of AB antigen are the preferred one because there is consistency decrease in impedance value compared to another 4 concentration of an antigen. For the measurement after simulation of LRC equivalent circuit, refer to the table. When the LRC equivalent circuit was on, these 4 values in the table above can be calculated. However, the value obtained are not consistent after each deposition process on the quartz crystal. Whereas for collector average capacitance value C1, which is H is arise from the action vibration of the quartz crystal, was shown around 15.0 nano H until 543.0 nh arise from the mass of crystal. For the collector average resistance value was shown from 8.5 ohm until 9.9 ohm arise from the loss dissipation in the crystal system. For the conclusion, the resonant frequency of the quartz crystal F0 in air and liquid phase was measured by impedance analyzer. The reading of resonant frequency of quartz crystal for air phase and liquid phase are 10.02003044 MHz and 10.006x90758 MHz, were nearest to 10 MHz. The measurement of liquid in this research are divided by 2 parts, which is the immobilization part and the immunoassay part. The impedance value after each deposition of biochemical solution for the quartz crystal was determined for the measurement in A phase. The average value of impedance is around 2.69 kilo ohm until 1.27 kilo ohm. Whereas for the measurement in liquid phase for immobilization process, for impedance is around 4.38 kilo ohm until 3.98 kilo ohm. For the measurement in liquid phase for immunosensor is around 5.05 kilo ohm until 3.89 kilo ohm. From the result obtained, the impedance value for the measurement in liquid phase is greater than A phase because of the presence of buffer solution. For the limit of detection LOD, Alzheimer disease, 0.001 microG/ml of antigen was selected as the lowest concentration compared to another 4 concentration. Lastly, for the simulation of the system with the LRC equivalent circuit was achieved when the value of C0, C1, L1 and R1 were obtained. When the LRC equivalent circuit was on, those 4 values can be calculated. However, the value obtained are not consistent after each deposition process on the quartz crystal. This inconsistency of the measurement can be minimized by making sure that the rinse process is done properly so that it cannot affect the contact between the quartz crystal and biochemical solution. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you.